We're here. Hello and welcome to another episode of Grown Women Growing Wealth. And I am your host, Daphne Jones, the Smart Money Chick, and I'm here with my awesome broadcast partner, Roberta Rivella. How's it going there, Roberta?
Oh, I'm having a technology fun morning, but other than that, it's great.
Okay. And our guest today is an Instagram coach, Anjum Bandari. Did I get it right? There we go.
Yes, you do.
There we go. So this is my second time speaking to Angel. We spoke before. We met up. I don't know how we got together. It was in a group or something of that nature.
Yeah,
And as soon as she told me that her specialty was helping individuals improve their uh, Instagram engagement, I wanted to get her on the show because one of the things that we always want to share is ways to improve your marketing. And social marketing is real important. And Instagram is my favorite. So everyone has their, the ones they like, Twitter or Facebook or what have you. But I really dig Instagram. So when she said she was an Instagram coach, I was like, yeah, sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. So, hey, it's great to have you here, Anjum. How are you doing?
thank you so much for having me. I'm doing completely fine, having a great day.
Great, 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 great. So, where are you coming to us from?
I'm from India.
Great, great. What part?
It's the southern part of India.
Okay. You see, she's been real coy about the southern part of India. What's the big city near you?
I am in a big city. It's
Yeah.
called Hyderabad.
Okay. Hyderabad. That's a pretty large town. You guys' population is several million, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay. So there. So I've never been to India, but
You should come. You should definitely visit.
yeah, want to check it out. So look, give us a little bit of your origin story about how you got into social media coaching, particularly Instagram.
hmm Sure. So, after I graduated, I was working for a corporate firm, 9 to 5 typical job. I, as soon as I started working there, started realizing that it was something I was not enjoying, or it was something not meant for me. But still, because I had put in so much efforts to get the job, I stuck with it for almost 2 years, but I definitely was looking for a way out. I started to research a little bit about the different areas and different sectors in which I could start exploring and have much more location based freedom, and much more financial freedom as well. Where I fell into the marketing, digital marketing place. I found myself a mentor, invested in her, took her course, worked as a freelancer for some time in the social media marketing world, and then after that I started my own business.
Okay. Okay. That you know, I know I can relate to, you put a lot of effort into getting a particular job or a position, you've gone to school and everything, and then you
Yeah.
find out, gee, this isn't quite what I thought. I think I want to do something else. So I can
Yeah.
really relate to that. And so you had one, you wanted to get away, leave that position you were in, but also you
Mhm.
found that you like social media.
Yes, I was definitely trying out. I was already, very much interested in how Instagram works. I was running rather, I would say, a very personal account,
Hmm.
putting up content and everything. I really enjoyed the platform. But when I started looking for options, this was something which was immediately, it clicked with me. It was something which was very close to my heart. I was like, okay, I can do this. I love social media. I like sharing content. I'm good at it. I create good graphics. I have a creative side of me. So I was like, okay, let's explore this side and this strength of mine. And it clicked. And here we are.
Okay. Hey, Roberta, are you catching us? I see you're still on mute.
I am. It's just loud here. Sorry about that. Unintentional. So, Engine, what's the most important thing for people that you coach in Instagram? What are we missing?
Oh, what are we missing is I see a lot of use content for the sake of it. They say, okay, I need to be posting these many times in a day, or maybe these many times in a week. So, like, okay, let me just put it out. There is no intention behind, there is no strategy behind, and they most of them are caring only for the vanity metrics such as the likes, the comments, all of this shares and saves, rather than focusing on the much larger picture of how many leads you're generating, how much sales are you making, like how many inquiries are you getting in your DMs, how many people are coming into your DMs asking about what exactly you do. So I think that is the most basic element which people are missing. The content and the uh, basically the content part.
Okay. Yeah. So you're talking about results based. You're talking about
Content.
results based marketing, right? Not
Hmm.
just click likes, but
Yeah.
actually, what
So
are these turning into? Because likes can't spend likes.
yeah.
No, can't feed the dog with likes.
But it takes a bit of time, on social media to generate leads. So between the time of posting and actually
Mhm.
generating leads, if we're not measuring by likes, which I totally understand that, what
Mhm.
metrics should they measure by?
What happens if you start measuring with just the amount of likes and everything? So you start thinking, you get caught up in that numbers. You're like, okay, I didn't get 100 followers today, I didn't get 50 likes. So instead of getting focused on that, and it's not only social media, but if you start a strategy, anything that might be, you need to give it some time to work. You need to give a certain time frame for it, for to see whether it's clicking with your audience, how are they responding and everything. Even I started my account, when I started it was like literally zero followers, it was a brand new account, and I started putting out content. Of course, initially you are seeing how many people are coming and following you, how many people are liking your content, but slowly and steadily, you should rather focus on what are the kind of questions you're getting in your DMs. Because as soon as I was starting to hit 300, 400, or almost 500 followers, I started seeing these DMs and inquiries rolling in my account asking me, what is that I do? What are my services? Is there any coaching program? So rather than just being stuck in that vanity metrics, I would say rather flow into the much more bigger picture of having sales, leads, and inquiries in your DMs.
So how do you go about helping your prospective clients? Because I take it the first thing someone reaches out in a DM and you set up a Zoom.
Mm.
That to me
Yeah.
would be the first thing to do. Possibly send them to your webpage, but particularly to Zoom.
Hmm.
That you would start working with them. Hey, I want to turn these likes and these views and these 400 follow. I want to start getting questions in my DM about what I do.
Hmm. So, first, the thing basic is we would be working, like they would see my content either on stories or on my feed or their feed, and they would be like, okay, of course, there is some amount of promotional content that is happening on my stories, be it direct promotionals, or maybe, I'm sharing a testimonial from my previous client, or maybe I'm sharing an expertise, or maybe I'm trying to build a trust with my audience, and they connect with it and they DM you after seeing me in my stories or my feed asking me, okay, do you do this service, or do you have social media management? Do you have a coaching service? After that, obviously, I don't personally, I don't prefer like directly sending people to a landing page or to a website saying them, okay, the details are present over there, just go and see and then you can come back to me. What I like to do is give them all of the information or any questions that they're having. Then I'm always open to hopping on a call with them, like a quick call. I would say, if you're open to it, let's just get on a quick call and I'll clarify any doubts that you have. So they ask me questions regarding whatever the programs I have and everything, and then we proceed after that. So that's the basic, simple, I would say, the funnel that I am following.
Okay. So you take a look. So for instance, if there's a call set up, do you often ask what is their Instagram and go take a look at it, or so you have a background as to what's been going on with their Instagram, or
So usually, initially, when I started out, I used to do this free discovery calls,
mhm.
where people used to book the discovery call with me. They used to give me their details of the Instagram handle and what are the questions that they have and what is the purpose of the discovery call and everything. So I did it for quite some time. But what I saw, what I noticed is when the call is free, a lot of time people won't turn up. Okay, you are just, your calendar is blocked, you're sitting there waiting for the person to join in your Zoom, and then you are just sitting there for half an hour and no one joins, and still you cannot even cut the call because somewhere in the back of your head you think, okay, she might join, he or she might join in 10 minutes, maybe in 15 minutes. So that was happening a lot. There were a lot of no shows, even though my form was very descriptive and I had put in uh, details like, if you do not if you are canceling or if you do not want to show up, please let me know beforehand so that it does not stay blocked in my calendar. But as it is free, people would mostly tend to ignore it, so I stopped doing that. So now, usually when they come to me on a call, it is more likely for them to be asking me about what my services are and how I can help them in the best possible way. And then after that is when, if they are interested, I would, if they are interested in an audit or if they are interested in a consultation or coaching, then is the next step where I would look into their Instagram and see what's going on.
Okay. Oh, we lost her, and there we go. She's back.
Sorry.
So, okay.
So how did you remedy the free call situation? What did you start sending them to a different avenue, or did you start did you put a paywall up, or how did you remedy that?
So I tried a lot of different things. I definitely didn't make it payable. I started setting up reminder emails. Okay, for some time before setting up the reminder emails, I also did a reminder call. I used to call them up beforehand to inform them there is a call. They would be very interested. Yeah, like they would remember everything. They're like, fine. But again, there were a lot of no shows even after the reminder email was sent. And somewhere I read, or maybe I think it was my mentor who mentioned it in one of her sessions. She was like, if people are not paying, they won't pay attention. If they are paying is when they will pay attention and they will see that, okay, it's block in my calendar, and they'll make sure they will attend. So I completely removed it. So the free discovery call doesn't happen anymore on my profile. So it was in the beginning. Now is, if they are, if at all they are interested to know about my services, or they seem to come in with the inquiry, is then we hop on a call after I have sent them, of course, some of the qualifying questions. I have a reply set up, which is like a few simple and common questions that I ask. So if they reply to those questions, is when I pre-qualify them and then set up a call with them.
Okay, so you have a relationship before the call because you're pre-qualified, so they bought in.
So pre-qualify is, I wouldn't say like they need to opt in into my email list or something like that. It's
Right.
simple 5 or 6 questions in which I ask what are the things that they're struggling with, and are they ready to invest their money and time in such programs, and all the basic questions which tells me whether or not they are qualified. Because again, it comes down to, if I'm getting them on the call and I'm spending some time with them and later realizing that they were not pre-qualified, or it was something like that, I do not want to be wasting either my time or their time. So those are some 4 or 5 simple questions that I just send across to anyone who is inquiring about some services, and once they fill that in is when I'll say, okay, let's set up a call or whatever the next step is.
I will say this. I have noticed, because there's a lot of free stuff out there, right? Give me your email and I'll send you my free list of whatevers.
Mhm.
But I don't pop my Gmail. I have a junk Gmail. I'll pop my junk Gmail in there and just see what happens a lot of times.
Mhm.
But if somebody
Mhm.
asks me a series of questions that are more than what's your name, what's your email, are you a coach, what are you? If I had to put some time into it, I mean, even 2 to 5 minutes, and I do it, it means I really want it. So, I mean, for me personally, so I think that putting those gates in there, I mean, you don't want them to write a book to get to you, but if they're not willing to answer 10 questions, one of which is, do you spend money on your business? Then definitely, just it's basically them canceling before they don't show up.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
The so you've gotten someone there. So what do you see as a, I guess, as a blanket, as an overall issue with businesses and their Instagrams, with solo entrepreneurs and their Instagrams?
Yeah, as I said, the first thing, of course, as I mentioned, is the content strategy, and the random content that they are posting. So, you have to. not I don't believe in niching down completely. So, I don't want you to completely niche down and limit your market, but at least you should niche down to some extent. You cannot be posting all random things, all your random habits and interests and everything into the same page and expect people to treat you as an authority or treat you as an industry leader in that particular field. So you need to niche down a little bit. At least that is what I see missing from a lot of people's pages. They are posting very random content which does not connect with me as if at all I was their ideal audience. Or I just, as soon as I see a page, I want to know what exactly they are doing, what is their expertise, what are they leading me to. So I think that is some of the biggest mistakes that I see entrepreneurs and solopreneurs especially making on Instagram.
So not being focused.
Yeah,
I think you
not
could
being niche down.
niche
So, like
down.
on Facebook, you kind of mix it up. Like not on my business page, but on my personal page, because everybody knows Facebook business pages are a whole other
Mhm.
fallacy. But anyway, on my personal page, I'll put personal stuff. It's my personal page, and then put my business
Mhm.
stuff too. So you're saying on Instagram it needs to be either or, right? So would you have two channels if you want a personal Instagram? Would you do, Roberta Ravella, this is my personal Instagram, and then have a business one separately that only talks about my business?
Yeah, so what I like to tell is maintain an 80-20 ratio. Of course, if a person wants to connect with you on a more personal level, seeing the behind the scenes, seeing your life, seeing what you do as a business owner definitely helps them connect a little bit more with you. So I always say at least maintain 80% of your feed or your stories limited to your personal. And if at all you are interested in sharing your personal life, go ahead and share it as well, but limit it to only 20%. It should not be it should not be the opposite. It should not be like you're sharing your everyday life completely on Instagram and hardly here and there you're
That
speaking
makes
about your
sense.
business.
Something I was always curious about, and I know it's been written about a lot, but I still don't understand it, is the whole hashtag thing.
Mhm. Yeah, for the hashtags, they are definitely the mystery, I would say, of Instagram, but it's not that. So if at all your content is not working, don't expect your hashtags to work. Okay, they are not something like a magic pill that as soon as you put the well-researched hashtags on your post, your reach is going to skyrocket. It's not like that. So it totally depends upon the activity, the engagement that is happening on your post. If no one is interacting with your posts and no one is showing their interest in your post, so definitely it indicates the algorithm that this is not a content of quality, and it slowly starts decreasing your reach. And hashtags are something like, the greater the engagement you get, you rank higher on the posts. And with Instagram right now, even they, because hashtags have been spammed so much, they're definitely trying to reduce the number of posts that are going onto the particular hashtags page. That is why they're suggesting, just initially it was 30, they came down to 12 or 15 a few months back, and recently they were like, no, just use 3 to 5, it's fine. So Instagram is now suggesting just use 3 or 5 hashtags, that they are definitely trying to reduce the spam, the high amount of traffic posts that are going into the hashtag pages.
So when you're working with someone, because it sounds like you have a coaching service, right? Where you're actually
Mhm.
giving help on how to do things. And then do you run Instagram accounts for individuals also?
Yes, I do. I have a few clients for whom I um, work in the target audience building, handling their lead generation from Instagram, handling their DMs, engagement part. So those are my retainer clients. I work with them. I've been working with them for a long time now. So other than that, is my coaching, of course.
Okay. So it sounds like coaching clients that became uh what's the word I'm looking for? White glove clients. It's like, okay, you showed me how to do this, but I'd much rather if you did it. I don't want to.
Mhm. So it's actually, it started with a few of uh, clients from India itself. So they were very much attached, not attached, but they wanted to handle their own social media. So they were like, okay, you tell me how to do it, but I want to do it on my own. I don't want to give complete control of my account to other person because I want to maintain the authenticity and my brand voice with it. When I heard this twice or thrice from some of the people who were coming into my inquiries, is when I started doing consultations initially, where I would just hop on a call with them and guide them on the questions that they have, which led to later becoming coaching completely.
Okay. Okay. Which led to coaching. So you are you a one woman shop now, or do you have a team around you that helps you create content?
No, I'm a one woman team right now.
Okay. So you do all your graphics and all that stuff yourself.
Yeah, yes, I do.
Okay then.
So, as far as this, you were talking about stories earlier.
Mhm.
Does Instagram prioritize stories and reels over regular posts?
So stories are something which cannot reach new people. Okay, stories are something which can be watched only by the people who are following you. Okay, so they will reach the people who are following you. They cannot get you new reach. Of course, reels are something which will get you reach outside of your following as well. And it happens with all of the other feed posts as well. But because reels is a very new feature on Instagram, and that is the reason why Instagram has been pushing reels so much since their introduction in in the 2020s. So now they're also starting reels on Facebook as well. So I'm seeing that they are pushing reels on Facebook as well right now.
It's like everybody's trying to be TikTok all of a sudden.
Yeah, yeah. So it's all short form content, dominating the marketing world.
Okay. Now, do you recommend if somebody has a TikTok and they're running those short videos that they just use them on the reels on Instagram, or is it bad to interchange?
Oh, of course. Please do it. Please repurpose your content because you have already put in so much effort in creating that piece of content. Why not repurpose it in both the platforms? Of course, you just have to make sure that you are not downloading the logo and everything and just doing it. Just download it without the logo. There are some websites for that as well. Just download it without the logo and then repurpose it on both the platforms. Then you are just giving another life for your content.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that. The other thing I'm curious about is for people with captions, how important is it to caption your videos?
Okay, so you mean the closed captions?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's definitely important. Um, the, some people they tell that there are a few people that are watching the stories as well as reels on mute, and you will see sometimes you yourself are doing it subconsciously, maybe sometimes during the night or sometimes you're watching the reels and everything supposedly on mute. So just so that, and sometimes it happens, the basic reason, sometimes you might not be able to understand what I'm telling, you might miss a word because of the pronunciation difference, because of the accent difference and everything, and we want to be sure it's reaching everyone. So I think adding closed caption is a great way to make sure that you are reaching all of these audience. And it's pretty easy right now. There is a sticker on Instagram, you just have to click it, it will auto generate all of your captions for you. It will transcribe everything what you're saying and it will appear on the screen as a text, and there are different options for you to choose as well as to how you want your text to appear on the reel. So I think it was not there before. It has been come like since a few months back that you have the sticker and it generates the auto captions for you.
Do you have an app that you recommend or a program that people can use?
No, in the Instagram app itself, the sticker is present. So whenever you are doing the reel and you are done with completely shooting and everything, if you just click on the stickers, it says CC and there is captions. If you just click on it, it will transcribe the entire thing. So in some of the countries, this feature is also present on Instagram stories. So I think even on Instagram stories, you can add closed captions right now for some of the countries. I think then it will be rolled out to all of the other countries as well.
Good to know. It makes it a lot easier than running it through an app. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So this is to add captions to your reels and your stories.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So Instagram does it for you. Oh yeah, it makes it much
Hmm.
easier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
yeah, because I think I'm paying for an app that does that.
Okay,
Yeah.
you you
Well,
can do
no,
it on.
I'm using a audiogram to create like
Mhm,
static pictures with the captions on it. So
mhm,
uh, when I do stuff for what's going on with the podcast,
mhm,
so that's something that's going to be helpful to us.
mhm.
So with the so when you begin to tighten, so you were actually able to track the growth in your business as you start focusing and doing certain checks on your Instagram when you start to niche down.
Mhm. So yeah, so definitely there is Instagram Insights, which is giving you a good idea of how everything is working. It's the native insights of Instagram itself. You can filter through the reach, you can filter through impressions, you can filter through follows and everything. It does it for individual posts, it does it for your entire account as well. There are specific insights for particular posts, there are insights for your complete account as well. So I think you don't have to depend on anything else, but rather just analyze these insights and see. You can, select the drop down and keep it for the last 30 days or last 90 days, last 60 days, and see the pattern of what is working. For an example, earlier I used to do these graphical carousel posts, the detailed ones. They were performing really, really well. But after a few months, I started noticing there is completely decrease in the engagement, that it's getting decrease in the reach, that it is happening not a lot of saves and everything, but I was definitely getting good reach in my reels. So slowly, I started noticing this pattern in my insights, and that is when I started to change my strategy, reduce the number of carousel posts I was doing, and increase the number of reels. So you don't have to depend on anything, but just focus on the insights that Instagram is giving you.
It, I had noticed Instagram has changed the type of creator you are, type of user. They've got business. I think creator is another one, and then they have, is it personal?
No, it's kind of a business itself, but rather to a creative crowd. So creator is usually there is not much of a difference between creator account and a business account. Business, when you have a business account, it takes into consideration all of whenever you are using a music, so that they do not get a copyright. So all such things they take into consideration when it comes to a business account. But creator account has much more flexibility in that terms, and a personal account is of course personal, and it does not have insights or anything like that.
Okay, okay. So it's best to choose business. Would you say business and creator, or it just depends on on what you consider yourself?
Yeah, I think some days back, business accounts were not allowed to use any music from Instagram's music library because of the copyright issues. Rather, creators were allowed to use the entire music library. So, for people who were trying to create reels with the trending music, they were definitely facing some issues. Is when they started to convert their business accounts into a creator account so that they can access the music library, because anyhow the basic features remain the same. Otherwise, I don't think there is much of a difference.
Okay, because I saw that and I was looking as to which one I should select. You talking,
Okay.
Roberta?
No, it's just interesting. I didn't know that about the insights, that there's no insights on the personal, but that makes sense. So you're
Yeah.
going in and looking at your insights. Would you rather have impressions, follows, engagements, or do you care? You just want to see that someone's interacting with the content? What is there a more important?
See, as when I create the content strategy, so the content strategy is trying to address all of these things. I'm not only creating content to get likes and everything, I'm also trying to create content that will get me more followers. I'm also trying to create content that is pushing my current audience into the next step of their customer journey, like building that know like trust factor. So I'm trying to address all of these different um, perspectives in my customer journey. So, of course, each of this content has its own advantage. Let's say with reels are reaching to a new crowd. They have reach to all of these new people, and they definitely, my aim with reels is to get me more followers, increase my reach. And I cannot use reels to warm up my audience when I'm launching something. Of course, maybe because almost 20 to 30% of the people that are watching my reels may not be even following me. Maybe they are watching me for the first time. If I tell them, okay, come and buy something that I'm selling on my reel, then it would not be an appropriate purpose or an intention to be setting with reel. So I use different formats for different the purposes behind it, and that is what I focus on in my coaching as well.
Very cool. So is that where you would tell someone to start if there's a business owner listening? They have an Instagram, but they haven't really been paying any attention. They're just putting up content. Should they start first at their insights to go and start learning how to read those insights?
Yeah, so your insights will be activated once you have 100 followers. Before that, you don't get that insights, even though it is business or creator account. So after that, I say if at all you have started doing some strategy, allow it a month, allow it 2 months at least. To see the patterns that are happening with your audience, to see what kind of content they are reacting to most, what are the content they're engaging with the most. So you'll start seeing a pattern, you'll start seeing a lot of insights. There are insights for reels as well now, amount of reach and everything you're getting, but definitely pay attention to your reels if at all they're active already on your account. Filter through these reach, filter through the impressions. Again, do it with the purpose that you're setting up your content to. You cannot do reels and expect, okay, let's say website tabs is also something, is one of the insights that you can see. So if I have a website link in my bio, I definitely can see how many people clicked on that website from my one particular post. And let's say if I did a reel and it's reaching new people and I tell them go and click the link in my bio, of course that metric is going to be very low, because it's reaching new people. They don't even know who I am, right? So rather I would use it in a carousel or a static post or in a story also, saying, because there are audience who have already warmed up, who know me, who trust me, who have seen my work, is then when I would measure my website tabs, and not with a reel. In a reel, I would rather measure my reach and my impressions.
That makes good sense.
Yes, it does. Who are these people that keep calling me? Well,
Sorry, I'm
Edgem,
taking a lot of notes.
yeah. So don't worry about the dead air. Well, Edgem, we wanted to be, like I said, respectful of your time, and I know
Mhm.
my podcast partner, she has a run to get to. Also, she has a hard stop,
Mhm.
and it's been great having you here. Lots of information. We will be inviting you back because I'm going to do some more studying up, and I'm going to have some more questions because I like Instagram, and I'm one of those folks who just post,
Mhm.
just post. Got a bit of a following, but I just post, and
Mhm.
I do want to figure out how to crack the code on to turn likes into leads, to where
Mhm.
I'm actually talking about my products.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I just got my hands full on into one of my clients' Instagram accounts because she's like, I know I need one, but you just do it. I'm like, okay. So I have like a full license to experiment. So she's going to be following your advice and not knowing it yet.
That's great. That's great.
well, look, thanks for joining us, and listeners out there, thanks for listening to this episode of Grown Women Growing Well. Bye bye. Bye bye now.